Hello again, folks. I'm now sending you the second of our Photoshop tasks, which I hope you can complete at home. It's based around a series of Boots Opticians ads that were on both TV, in live action, and on print last year or the year before, using a kind of a Pop Surrealism approach. I'm going to send you these four images. So woman wearing specs, goldfish, ice cream cone, and a man wearing specs. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut everything above the specs off, and for a kind of surreal effect put one of these other two incongruous images in instead of the head. So if you want to use these images, I would recommend it. They've been chosen because the specs are very front on. The face has to be very frontal like this for ease of selection. But if you want to use your own images and you feel you can achieve this, go ahead. So what I'm going to do to begin with is just check that the specs, see I'm zooming in with my navigator here, I need to check that the specs are horizontal because I want you to use a particular selection tool that will help us get a very sharp cutoff. If I just show you the lady's specs, she's definitely not horizontal, but I'll show you how to straighten up, and then we'll move back to the man wearing the specs because that's the one I want to use today. So to straighten up those specs, they've got a horizontal element to them. If we just click on our crop tool, and up here at the top click on that little spirit level tool and bring it in. Can you see it says straighten next to it? If I now place the cursor very carefully on the top of this arm of her specs and click and drag to the same place on this side of her specs and let go, it straightens up the horizontal. Did you see that? Then you'd hit the enter key and carry on. You've now got her specs horizontal. Okay, let's go back to our chap. We'll just double check, clicking straighten, going to that arm of his specs and coming across to the same place on this arm of his specs. It's fine, he's horizontal. Right, now we can select using our rectangular marquee tool. Up here, look, dotted lines in a square. Zoom in a little bit, place your cursor on that point of the arm of his specs, go across, make sure you travel through the same point on the other arm of his specs, then keep going and drag down as well. Can you see? Until I get to the edge of the picture, then I'm going to let go. If I zoom out, you can see it selected that area. I did it that way because I've got two reference points, so I knew I was going to hit the two crucial bits on his specs. But now it gives me the problem of selecting this bit. Easy done. Let's zoom in again and go up to that part of his specs. Can you see? That's the bit we need to select. If we hit the add to, this one, selection, can you see it's got a plus next to it? And I put my cursor right on that point and go the other way. I've added that bit to the selection. You see? You have to be pretty accurate with that one. for it all to work. Now, the problem we've got is the bridge of the nose. If we want to have the line of the top of the specs, which we do, the bridge of the nose is below our selection line and the top of the glasses is above our selection line. So we can use our selection tools in combination. So if I now click on our quick selection tool and have the plus version here selected, I can add to this selection. So I'm going to zoom in and using, it's quite a small cursor, make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. There it is, look, 10 pixels, 7 pixels or thereabouts. If I now carefully, starting inside the selection over here, just push out towards the black, and I'm going to stop there, look, because now that bit's selected anyway. I'm going to take it up again on the other side over here. If I now push out towards the edge of the black, I'm going to try and avoid getting that green in. Okay? If you get the green in, go to minus and push it back so that you've only got the black. We actually want the minus selection tool for the next step, which is to push from outside the selection in so you get that dip in the bridge of the nose. And I'm just doing that. You can see I'm barely touching the green and it's selected it pretty well. Can you see it's following the black edge there? That's what we want. Okay, so we've got that bit selected. We now want to put it on its own layer. So we hold Command or Control if you're on a Mac or a PC and press J. On a PC it's going to be Control J, on a Mac it's going to be Command J. And you can see over here it's put that selection on its own layer. Okay? Now, if we just take a look at that layer, turn off the background layer, we can see the gap above his head. I don't think that's going to be big enough for the two images that we have a choice of putting in there. I'm actually going to put the ice cream cone in there rather than the goldfish, but you could choose either. So what we need to do is extend upwards somehow, yes? Extend the canvas upwards to give us more room to put the next image in. So what we need to do is click on the background. Can you see in your layers over here? Go to Image, Canvas Size. We want everything to go up. So I'm going to click on this bottom arrow because I don't want to risk anything going below it. I'm going to change this to percent. And I'm only going to change the height. And I'm going to change that to 50% higher. Then I'm going to click OK. I'm going to click back on the layer here. Now, what we don't need anymore, now we've created that extra space and we've made our selection of the face below the specs, we don't need the background anymore. So if you click on the background, it doesn't matter if we now cover that up. Down at the bottom here, there's our one of our favourite icons, the half black, half white disc. Down at the bottom, can you see bottom right end of the screen? If I click on that and go to solid colour and I push the totem pole of colours up to something that I think might really zing out, and if it's looking like that, it's because I haven't clicked on the brightest version of that colour. Can you see already, look? And I click OK, I've now got that, look. Fantastic. I can turn the background off, it's not doing anything. Can you see if I do this little thing down here. We'll keep it there for now, just in case, but that's what we've now got. It's fantastic.